as supposedly. This fuel pump here was made, you know, like the last 6 months or last years of production for the Type M mccormick-deering. This is for 1.5 horsepower. These are very good. These are very good fuel pumps. It's an AC pump. It's got a number on it and some other stuff right there. It don't do you no good to Google it because you won't find nothing for it. But and I'm going to rebuild all of these is what I'm telling you about. And I'm going to take the brackets and run them through the electrolysis tank out there and clean them real good and prime them and paint them the green color that I think the engines are painted. A dark hunter green from Rust-Oleum matches pretty good. This seems to be a little bit lighter green on this one, and I think that's probably original color. It seems to be a lighter green. And I do have some diaphragm material, and you know, that diaphragm material is really easy to get. McMaster Car has it. I think you can get it at your local auto parts store. Just get them to order you some diaphragm material. And in an upcoming video there, we'll rebuild these and cut them diaphragms out and everything. And but interesting, as you find in these engines, when you have more than one of anything, you can compare them to each other and spot variations, molding and repairs that persons has made in the past, mechanics such, owners. That if you have more than one, you have that advantage. So, you know, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you have 5 to go by, and you observe that all the screw heads goes in from this side here, all of them goes that way except this one. You can assume that this one is incorrect. So when I put this back together, I'll put them from the other side over there, and I am going to replace all the screws in all of these here with new ones, just as part of a rebuild. They are available, as is the glass bowls and all. I think we'll end up with 4 operating units here. But I have 2 of them that has been modified to use on a 3 horsepower by evidence of this big cam roller. This one, and someone cut that off, milled it over, put that back together, and welded a bushing on there to put on a 3 horsepower. Modified it. And this one here, they cut off a part of a earlier model and brazed it on there. It's mismatched, but it works. So that's just a tip of upcoming project there. We'll put some screens up in there and clean them glasses all and everything, you know. Y'all leave a comment. And that right there's the outcome of those mixers. That was, you know, we the last ones on that 3 horsepower build. We had taken some parts engines apart, and we ended up with this many mixers. And I do have the set screws and such for these fittings and everything. The early model and the 3-needle valve version as well. But before I get on with them fuel pumps over, I'm gonna put this up outside the building out there. I'm gonna put a light bulb up in here and hang it from inside the building. So that's the project at hand right there. I'm gonna draw something up, you know, a side view, and I think I'm gonna build that out of square tubing. I'll show you the blueprint over the idea that was drawn on the napkin, so to speak. But I'm going to modify that immediately. Well, aside from the note list there, just a sketch, you know, kind of the easy way with some floor flanges, you know, some elbows and some T's and a cross piece up there. So, and some lengths of straight pipe. So, you know, that would just be a trip to the hardware store. And even it has its weak points in it. If that's threaded together, the light part that protrudes from the building midway of those two upright stanchions has a leverage effect to twist that connection downward. It's hard to get that to stay in position. So, I mean, you could weld it or what, but now let's go about that a different way. Thinking outside the box. Using what we got on hand over there. Y'all leave a comment. Thanks to everybody watching the videos there. I appreciate it. Subscribe if you want to. Opting to use square tubing 1-inch 11 gauge, which measures out about an 1/8 inch wall thickness. It welds real good, you know, some new stuff. And you just make some square cuts and maybe some 45s, and you can throw some angles in there if you want to get artistic about it, I think. But we're going to hang it from that. And also, as we build this thing, we're going to incorporate into it a couple of brackets to come out. And say the thing come up like it's right here, and then come back like it's right here up to the wall. I'm sure somewhere right over in here. I'm too far away. Let's say to hang out no further than about right here. So yeah, this much out from the wall, maybe. Yeah, that's enough. And then when them two things goes down like that, the way I got it visualized inside my head there, you know, as a working blueprint until I draw it on paper. So, but I'm gonna in the bottom incorporate a couple of little you know, pins with a latch pin in them to replicate what would have been. You know, let's say they made these in some years past, say a factory even, possibility of it. It's what they would have did, and then I'll have some chain links to hang down from that right there, and then the sign to hang crossways underneath that. Possibly to be lit by the overshadow of the light, let's call it. And really, I think you know, to quit beating around the bush, you don't get on about it. Is yeah, thanks to everybody. You know, I mean, you know, but I really appreciate all the subscribers, comments, and stuff y'all leave on there. You know what I mean? It makes it worthwhile. I'm from here, Middle Tennessee, the geographical center of something. Shop Dog Sound. Yeah, I'll take the file to them. I'll take the file to them brackets right there and file the corners off and everything right there. But I'll get them in that electrolysis first. But it's kind of mocked up on this 3 horsepower right here. Just kind of cleaning up some parts and such, getting everything together. So. And we'll shove that gas tank in there right there. That's it. I put some primer on it. That's the pipe for the drain on opposite side over there. And this is the one coming out. And this right here will be added on to the cost of the engine. For the simple reason it didn't have a fuel pump on it. So, but all of this is just a mock-up right here. That'll be taken off for painting and all. But I think the next procedure is to shim up the crank and then put the piston in there. So, but well, yeah, you know, thinking about it, using the front of this engine as the way the wall, this is where my wall would be at that I'm going to fix that light fixture to. So I would be okay with that distance and all. That being this amount right here. It could be more, I think. As in, from the center of this globe shade, from the center of the shade, if I eyesighted it right in this area right here, straight up and down, and put this down here like this right here, and look over here, let's say that's 14 inches. 13 or 14 inches, you know, according to how you lean it. Probably could be even a foot. I'm going to say that's 1 foot, which is not enough. So, what might be? I mean, that would be the minimum, and it would be okay. A foot. But I think I probably should have it hanging out there about 14 inches. What you mean, right here would be the wall. About this much more over. And I have to get from here, this wall, to here in a secure, safe and secure and artistic light bracket. So let's get that done. Well, as far as using this dimension in a blueprint drawing, which I'm going to do sideways view of it, not head on. The only dimension I really need to know is, you know, how much is across here. It's an 18-inch globe. So I'm just, yeah, 18-incher. I might put an LED in that.